Hey there! In this quick tutorial, we'll see how to create animated button with the ValueAnimator class. As you can see, when you scroll up, the button collapses. When you scroll down, it expands. To make this, we need two things: a ValueAnimator class and a scroll listener on a RecyclerView. The ValueAnimator class is used by animations, and it calculates an animated value and set it to a target object. So let's get into it. To make this tutorial as concise as possible, I've already set up the application, the basic things like the colors. I added a color white and a ripple color. I set a color primary and primary dark to reddish color. I created the adapter, an item with a name field, and a item view with a text view in it. Now in the main activity, I set up my RecyclerView by instantiating an adapter and layout manager and adding 15 items. Let's get started. First, we need to create the button, which is actually a linear layout with two childs. So first, add in a linear layout, wrap content, give it an ID, button add. Okay, let's constrain it to the bottom left or bottom right. Add some margin. Give it 16 dp. It's still red. Why is that? Okay, set orientation to horizontal. That's okay. And we need to add the image view for the plus sign. 32 dp width and height, and add the text view, which is wrap content. Okay, set the text to add item. Now we want it to be a bit larger than this, and we want things to be aligned vertically, so gravity center vertical. Okay, that's it. And add some padding, set it to 16 dp. Okay, now we need a round background for the linear layout, so let's create this in drawable. Click new, drawable resource. For the root element, select ripple and give it a name, ripple background. Okay, so here we need to set the ripple color, so Android color, and set it to ripple, the predefined color I created, and add another item. This item contains shape, and the shape is a rectangle, and this rectangle has a solid color, and we said it's a primary color, and it has round corners. Set radius to 60 dp, and that's it for this. Close it. And the linear layout, set background to ripple background. Okay, now it's looking great. Now change the text color to, actually first the text size to 18 sp, text color to white, and add some padding end to 12 dp and padding start to 8 dp. Also, we need to add the max height attribute to 24 dp. If you don't put this here, when we collapse the text view, it will expand vertically. We don't want that, so we need to set a maximum height. Now we're nearly done with this. Let's just add a drawable for the image view. So new vector asset, select. So I want to show you something. Want to look for the add button, and we want it to be rounded. So let's click OK, change the IC to add, make sure the color is white, choose, next, finish. And here add background to IC add. Okay. Last thing, we need to make the linear layout clickable. So add clickable true. And now when we click it, we'll have a ripple effect, just as we defined in the ripple background. Now let's head to the main activity. In the main activity, we need our animator of type ValueAnimator and set to nullable value to set it to null at start, and add a function to create this animator. Create animator. Now here what we're gonna do is animator. Here we first need to get our text view and then get the size. So let's init value and call it init size. This has the size of the text view that we didn't give a name to, an ID, so name it text view add. Okay, and here text view add get measured width. So the measured width is the true size of the element when it's drawn to the screen. Now create an animator that will be returned. It's value animator of int, and we want it to be animated from init size to 0 because we want to collapse the text view. Let's add a duration. So we want it to expand and collapse within 250 seconds or milliseconds. Now the animator object has a add update listener, and this callback function is called every frame from the animation start to the end during 250 milliseconds. So the runtime will deal with this. All we want to do here is to update the text view accordingly. So here value animation dot animated value as int. The value we want to animate is text view width, and we know it's an integer. Next, we need to get the layout parameters and change just the width. So tv add layout parameters and layout actually we call it layout manager. Let's call it layout params. Layout params, set width to the value. Now tell the text view to update its parameters with the request layout function. Now we're done here. Let's just return the created animator and change the function. Let's change the function here to return an animator value or value animator. Okay. Now we need to add a scroll listener on a recycler view. So RecyclerView dot add on scroll listener, and this one takes a recycler view on scroll listener. Here we will use the unscrolled method, override it, and check if the animator is null. It's not defined yet, then we defined it. Animator equal create animator. So we could have done it here, but the thing is the width is set to 0 if the view has not been drawn yet. Therefore the width would be 0. To make sure that we have a valid value, I'll call it when we scroll the screen, and when we scroll the screen everything is drawn. Now let's check the values. Now here on scrolled we have the recycler view in which it has been scrolled and the delta x and y. We're interested in a delta y because when the screen is scrolling is the x value, the y value that is changing. So if dy is greater than 0, then we're scrolling up. Therefore we need to start the animator to collapse. Start, actually add the assert not null, and if the dy is less than 0, then reverse the animator, so the text view will expand this time. Same thing, don't remember the assertion here. And also we want it to play just once when you scroll up and just once when you scroll down. So we need to add a new value here, a boolean value, and name it button expanded, because this will disable the animation every time we scroll down when it's not needed. Here var, and say to actually it's expanded at startup, so let's set it to true. And here button expand set to not button expand. Copy this and paste the same thing here, and in the condition here I want to make sure that it is not expanded. Okay, I think we're done here, so let's test this. Scrolling up, scrolling down. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.